What is going on, guys? Lord Valor here, back with another LifeCast, episode 7 we are on now, and today, I mentioned last episode that we're gonna have a special guest, cross our fingers, and he was able to join us today. Today we are joined by Derek, who is 75% of the DaksDominos channel, so welcome, Derek.
Thanks for having me on, it's nice to be here.
Yeah, it's always, I was thinking, got done with the COPPA episode that I did last week. I was like, what the heck am I going to do now? Then it hit me that I knew somebody who was big on YouTube, and it's like, that's too big of an opportunity uh, to pass up. You there?
Yeah.
All right.
Did you ask me something? I couldn't. You're still kind of quiet.
Can you hear me better now?
That's a little better. I'll just try to listen real good.
All right. So, you are. Why don't you tell us about what you do and your YouTube channel and stuff?
All right. So basically, what I create on YouTube is it's called Domino Art, and it's like if you've ever seen just like if you set up some like Mexican train dominoes, top them in a line, it's like that, but on a much bigger scale. So I'm creating like structures and like design, tricks, pictures, words, everything like that. And that's primarily what we primarily post on YouTube. And a couple of years ago, we kind of blew up on YouTube, and since then we've gained, I think we're at 160,000 subscribers and around 30 million views, I believe.
So, what video was it that caused you to blow up?
So I think it was around when I think it was the beginning of my sophomore year in high school. It was either that or the beginning of my junior year in high school. I don't remember. I think it was the beginning of sophomore year. No, it was my beginning of junior year. I do remember. So we posted a video. I think we were around just like 900 subscribers, so it's close to 1,000. It was still pretty good. But we had never had any videos that got a lot of views. And we posted a video that was themed around Dude Perfect, and they're obviously very popular on YouTube. So it had like the Dominoes would make like pictures or like do stuff themed around sports and stuff throughout the video, and it ended up blowing up right away. And I think today it has 9 million views. It's our second most popular video. But yeah, that was the one that started it all, and since then we've had many more videos that have gotten a lot of views, and it's just we've been growing ever since.
So, what made you start YouTube in the first place? So, I know, is it like a hobby to do dominoes, or what's the deal?
Well, I saw this guy on America's Got Talent. This was like way back when I was like 10 or 11 years old. He did something like this on America's Got Talent, and I thought it was cool, so I just pulled out like a box of Jenga blocks and just kind of started building my own setups, not recording them or anything. And then I found them on looked up on YouTube, like dominoes, just to see, and I found these amazing videos of people doing stuff with dominoes that I had no idea you could even do that stuff and with dominoes. So I kind of wanted to just post my own videos. So we just kind of made a YouTube channel for fun, just so we could post our own videos. We weren't really thinking it was going to go anywhere, but it was just kind of something to do for fun. And then we just kind of stuck with it over the years, and then grew our collection of dominoes and got better, and yeah, here we are today.
So, how long have you been doing YouTube? When did DaksDominos, when was the channel created?
It was in October of 2011.
So, that's like 8 years now. Going on 9.
Yeah, close to a decade.
Dang. Just to think, the Saucy Memoirs have only been going on for 2 of those years. We created ours in November of 2017.
Yeah, and then if you think about it, like, we didn't really start getting a lot of views and subscribers we didn't get any of that for our first 5 or 6 years, because it wasn't till a few years ago when we got our first actual viral video.
Right. Yeah, and people kept coming back for more. So what's the best part for you personally about YouTube?
Well, I just like the fact that I'm creating something for a large audience of people to see. They at however they want. But like Domino's, it is an art form. Like that's technically what it is because you can create designs, pictures, and stuff. It's a lot of creativity that deals with it. So also I really like when I post a new video, just kind of watching the comments roll in. Like a lot of the comments are like people that don't really build Domino's. They'll just say like, "Oh, that was really cool. That was really nice." But then there's other people that do this kind of stuff, and they'll leave more in-depth comments of what they specifically like, and those are really fun to read as well. And it's just just posting. It's just I just like the idea that I'm posting videos for a large audience to see.
So I know you live stream sometimes, but how often do you ever think about live streaming? I know college is in the way now, but do you know when are you gonna live stream anytime soon in the future, or what's your deal with live streaming?
We don't usually live stream. We're probably on an average of like once or twice a year, and it's just usually live streams of Dominant Buildings aren't that entertaining to watch, but it's usually we'll set up a camera. It'll be me and my brother will be building, and then while we're building, we'll just be answering questions that people ask. But it's nothing too entertaining. It's just something like I was like, oh, we have a live stream in a while, so we'll just build a live stream. But it's been a while. I think the last time we did it was last spring.
Yeah, it's more for audience members who like your content to talk with them, basically.
Kind of like a mini Q&A also, because they can just ask questions, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're kind of watching the building process as it happens.
Yeah, how many times do you accidentally knock over your creation and you have to start all over?
Obviously over the years of practice, we've gotten better at not knocking things over.
Stable hands.
When I first started, I probably knocked stuff over like all the time. But as you do more, your hands get steadier, and you kind of know the right positions to build in or stuff like that. That would be the safest. But then we also we leave safety gaps. So we'll take 5 dominoes out in a line throughout projects, so that if you do accidentally knock it down, it'll stop where that gap is. The whole thing won't fall.
Yeah, so it can be frustrating sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you're in college. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. But how do you balance your YouTube work, college work, and school work, and just being a content creator? I know you can't make as much when you're in college, but how do you balance that?
Well, I do go to so that's obviously in the same town as where I live. So I can go home when I have because our building area is at our house. So over the weekends, say I have a whole Saturday afternoon free, I go home and build for a few hours. Right now it's Thanksgiving break, so I've gotten a good amount done because I want to use my break to work on some videos.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely doing YouTube a lot less in college.
So, when is your next video going to be released? May I ask?
The next video, the one that we're working on right now, we're hoping to post 3 more by the end of the year. That does sound like a lot since it's December already, but we're almost done one. We're hoping to post that in a week or 2. And we have another one that we'll be able to finish in one weekend. I'm not going to say what it is.
That's fine.
But that'll be right at the end of the year. And then right after New Year's, it won't be like a video that we worked on. It'll just be something I need to edit. It's our best of DaksDominos 2019.
Oh, compilation.
Yep. Just a compilation.
Yep. Awesome. So, we're gonna. So, do you see yourself quitting YouTube anytime soon? Just let's get that out of the way now.
I don't want to. It is something that I still enjoy, posting videos, but also just creating domino art itself. It's a creative process, and it's something I really enjoy. But yeah, I'll try to stick with it as long as I can. It's kind of just like a part-time job for me now, because I have a work study but I also have YouTube, so it's kind of like 2 part-time jobs, I guess.
Right. So, gonna take a completely different direction here. Have you heard of the COPPA laws, and what are your thoughts? Is it gonna affect you as a channel, or?
Yes. COPPA laws have been an issue because everything is just so vague. I've been talking about it. There's this big group chat that a lot of community are in. And we've been talking about a lot of that, kind of sharing what we know and some videos that help explain it. And what we collectively think right now is that COPPA will not go. It's supposed to take an effect on January 1. We don't think it's going to go through in its current form just because it's so bad. Because, I mean, either videos are for kids or they're not for kids. There's no in between. Which obviously, Domino's is a pretty good example of in between because, I mean, it's, colorful. Technically, they're toys because they're blocks, but so that can appeal to kids. But I know a lot of like teenagers and adults and everything that still obviously love watching these videos too because I think it appeals to everyone. If I look at my comments, a lot of the comments seem like they're from people that are older than 13.
Right.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm hoping it doesn't go through in this current form because I would be afraid I would have to mark my videos as for kids since they technically appeal to kids according to how COPPA law defines content is for kids. Because like if it's colorful, if it features toys, which technically Domino's are, so yeah, we're just kind of waiting. We're just going to kind of wait and see what happens and then decide.
Yeah, it's finding the difference between family friendly content and kids content. So
exactly.
I don't know if YouTube's going to be able to figure that out or yeah, I talked about that last week in episode 6. So if you're interested in listening to that, go check out that episode. It's a short 20-minute episode. Yeah, it was fun to talk about that. So do you, let's get into kind of what you're interested in the future. So do you have if is your future going to have anything to do with filming? Because I know when you watch a DaksDominos video, there's some cool like filming, like you sweep by the dominoes and you have high angles, low angles. So I know you've studied stuff like that, but do you see your future being something in that area or?
Well, right now my major at Dort is digital media production. It's probably a minor in marketing. So I mean that kind of relates because YouTube, you're posting videos, digital media, you're producing content, media, videography for commercials or whatever it may be. I'm still not sure if that's what I want to do, but I didn't want to be undecided, and this was really the only thing that appealed to me enough where I could decide. So I may change my major, but I'm not sure. And I'm only first semester freshman, so I got a lot of time to decide yet.
Right.
But yeah, that may my future may include stuff similar to this, but yeah, I'm still unsure at the moment.
So I know you mentioned earlier your fan base and how you appreciated the comments, but is there anything else about your fan base that you really, really love about them?
Let's see. So every once in a while, we'll get like a message or an email from either a kid or a parent. So if it's like from a parent, they'll say like, "Oh, my kid loves watching your videos. Like they watch a new video every time it comes out, and like they tried building dollars. You kind of inspired them yourself. Just stuff like that. That's just really nice to see when just knowing that you have an impact or an influence in a kid's life or anyone's life."
So that kind of leads back to COPPA. So do you think your audience is mainly kids, or would you say that your audience is over 13?
Well, let's see. Let me pull this up. I did a poll, the community tab for YouTube channels. I did a poll on that and asked, like, obviously not everyone did the poll here. I'm going to pull it up a second, but asked, like, are you under 13? Or are you 13 and under, or are you over 13? And let's see. Oh, wait, that's that one. Community tab. So I haven't checked in a few days. So 58% said they were older than 13, and 42% said they were younger than 13, or they were a parent whose 13 or under kids watch. So let's see. There were just over 500 votes. So obviously, it's just like I predicted. It's a pretty mixed audience, which I figured it would be. That's why I'm still nervous about COPPA, because obviously I can't just mark it as not for kids, and just so I can still have personalized ads and comments and all that, because then if the FTC thinks it's for kids, then be punished or fined. something, you know.
Yeah.
But then if I do put it as for kids to be safe, you know, you lose personalized ads, which is like 80% of your revenue, and you lose comments and notifications and everything. So it's basically a lose-lose situation if it goes through how it is right now. So I'm hoping that it will change.
It affects what COPPA does. It affects a lot of how your channel is marketed. So your channel might not be sent out in the recommended to people who are under 13, but people over 13 will. Am I correct in saying that?
I think so. I'm not sure how it'll affect the algorithm, but all I know is that right now, if I would put my videos as not for kids, it is a risk because I could get risk penalized if the FTC thinks it's for kids.
Right. So that it I don't think your content is for kids. And I know in my videos I've sworn a couple times, so I know my content isn't for kids.
Yeah.
But where
Yeah. Again, just with my content, it obviously can appeal to kids, but it can appeal to adults and teens also. So it's if they had a mixed audience setting, just for kids or not for kids, I would definitely click that one. But we'll see. They still got a month left, so I'm hoping something will change because there's been that petition that a lot of people have signed. Everyone's been submitting comments to the FTC, so I'm hoping it'll change.
yeah. So are you subscribed to YouTube creators on YouTube, obviously?
Yes.
Did you see their community tab link?
What was the link to?
So their community, they've made a post. They've saying we've seen a lot of questions regarding what exactly made for kids content is, and if your content is directed to children. And they give you a website to read. And then here's some important pieces we wanted to highlight. What if children watch your video and it's not targeted to kids? So they are trying to get information to you out there, and they're trying to make it more, you know, prominent on what's happening. But it's very hard, I think.
I did hear about these updates through some other videos that I watched, but it's still vague because I know it mentioned because one community that was specifically concerned is the animators, like the odd ones out, Dominics, all those people, because it said like cartoon characters appeal to kids. In this update, it said something about like we do realize that just because you have animated characters, it does not mean that it applies just to kids.
Rick and Morty.
But they still didn't say for sure where the line is on, because obviously like the odd ones out, there are a lot of non-kids that watch his videos. I'm sure there are some kids that watch his videos. I watch his videos. I enjoy them.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, so it all comes back to what's family friendly content and what's kids content.
Exactly.
It always comes down to that.
Yeah. There's just so much gray area in this whole situation because there's a lot of content that can appeal to both kids and adults that aren't just for kids or not for kids.
Yeah. So, do you think that's going to affect your subscriber rate? I think it's going to affect everybody to some degree, but
if COPPA goes through the form that they're taking right now, it will definitely affect. I'm assuming it will affect their channel, but I don't know for sure. Obviously, because it hasn't launched yet, but we're just gonna kind of have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah. So you currently have 161K subscribers, and I'm assuming that's been going up, right? Or have you been staying steady for the past little bit since you haven't uploaded in like 3 months?
Yeah, it's not going up like. Obviously, we've had times where it's been going up faster. It's not going up super fast right now, but there's times where it's gone up slower. But yeah, we do plan to get a couple videos out before the end of the year yet. But it's still going at a pretty steady pace. It's not like your channel is dying or anything.
Right. From what I've heard, it also depends on the time of year. I've heard a lot of people watch during like Thanksgiving and Christmas breaks, and they notice YouTubers notice an increase in people watching their content because they have more breaks. People who are on YouTube have more breaks during that time. So have you noticed a trend in that, or have you not really paid attention?
I have noticed a trend in that before in the past years, because something that's funny that I'll always notice is that around the time when, like right before Christmas break, so around the time when high schools and universities will have their finals, like our views will just drop. And the reason for that is because everyone's studying. There's a lot less people watching YouTube. I'm sure this happens to other creators too. But then after it gets into Christmas break, the views go back up, and then they're higher than they were normally too, because everyone's on break, so everyone has more free time, so everyone watches more YouTube. So that's just an interesting pattern I've seen in the past years.
So, what are other content creators that you kind of want to give a shout out to that are good for if you want Domino's content?
So other like channels that do this.
Yeah.
So obviously DaksDominos, you gotta go check them out. But some of my other favorites are Domino's. There's Hevish5 is one of the most popular domino artists. She has like 2.5 million subscribers. Some of my other favorites, I said Domino's, Twig, BP Dolls. What are some other ones? I'm gonna think.
Flash Domino's.
Flash Domino. Yeah, if you kind of look at my recommended channels,
yeah,
some of those are machine builders. Another kind of art form that's kind of related to dominoes is like Rube Goldberg machines. So, BP Dolls, Domino's, Flash Domino, Hevish5. A lot of them are also very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, so go down to YouTube. That's where you're at. If you're listening to this, you're at YouTube. Go to the search bar, search up DaksDominos, and just binge watch all their videos. They're oddly satisfying. Do you get comments that tell you, like, yeah, they are really satisfying to watch?
Yeah, a lot of comments here. I'll on my notification bell, read some past comments. A lot of the comments will be like, oh, imagine if you forgot to hit record, or if I tried to set that up, I would have knocked it down after one domino. Those are a lot of very stereotypical comments, or comments like, oh, this is so satisfying, or how long did this take you to make? It looks like it took so much work. But yeah, those are, a lot of people do say it's satisfying, because it is.
So, it is a lot of work, but how do you limit yourself and make things go faster?
Obviously, it does take a lot of time, and something with our building style compared to some other builders, we build more compactly and have more like intricate projects and more complex color combinations. There's some other builders that build like that too, but so then that also makes it take longer, because you're kind of reaching into small spaces, and if you have a complex color combination, you make sure you're paying attention to it while you're building. So that takes time, but the one piece of advice that I'll give to any builder is don't build too fast, because although you're going faster, if you build too fast, you're going to accidentally knock it down, because you're going to make a mistake, because you're just worried about going as fast as you can, which is a big mistake with dominoes. So it's just to find a good pace that you're comfortable with, and then soon you'll get used to that, and you just like sit down for like an hour or two every day, you can actually get a lot done.
Yeah, so you've done collaborations with people, and I know on your Dude Perfect one, you did Flash Dominoes. So what are some other channels that you partnered with to help make a video?
Let's see. So yeah, Flash Domino is that one.
Yep.
We also occasionally build like Rube Goldberg machines. If you look at our videos, we'll have some like that.
Mm-hmm.
We were invited to be a part of this one that had included us and 11 builders total, so us and 10 other builders. It's called like Insane Chain Reactions. It was posted right before the our Fortnite domino video. So that
Trying to get views.
That one was hosted by a guy named Sergey Delachi. But we've collabed with Twig a few times. I've actually met him in real life. I became friends with him online. Just like there's some builders that I've become friends with. So like sometimes I'll video just like that I've met throughout months. Sometimes I'll video chat with them while I'm building or stuff like that. And we were in Seattle once, and this guy lives in Vancouver. So we decided to meet up with him and build a project together in an in-person collaboration. So since Vancouver is only like an hour or two away from Seattle.
Wow. Yeah.
So we've collabed with him in person, and then also in just a normal kind of collaboration video as well. And then there's also Domino World 2018 and Domino World 2019, which is an annual event that started in 2018. And it's hosted by VP Doles. He lives in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and it takes place in the Ann Arbor Hands-On Children's Museum. And so it was me and my brother, VP Doles, and then like probably 5 or 6 other builders, 6 or 7, and it included machines and dominoes. And it's just one massive project that we built over 7 days, building all day. And the one in 2019 had 35,000 dominoes.
Wow.
And that's more of, it's a collaboration, but it's also kind of an event because it's for a live audience. And then we also post it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the Domino World 2019. That's probably one of my favorite videos that I posted.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that next. What's your favorite video that you have? But yeah, you just gave me that answer.
Yeah, either that one or our 100,000 subscriber special. It's titled 35,000 dominoes for 100,000 subscribers. That one is also a good video that I am proud of.
Insane. Well, Derek, thank you for joining me today. Do you have any last? I have one last question. What is something that you can tell me that you've never told your fans before? That you're comfortable sharing, obviously.
I gotta think of something first that I've never told my fans, so let me think. Could it just be like something random?
Yeah.
Or, okay, so not necessarily related to dominoes.
Well, it can be. It can be both. I don't care.
Yeah, it can be, but I don't know if there's really anything too special.
You're an open book.
Well, I'm sure not a lot of people know this, but some other builders that I'm friends with know this, but we live in Iowa. I don't know if that would mean anything.
Yeah, and that your twins.
If you're a domino builder in Iowa, hit us up.
And your brother is your twin? I don't know how many people actually realize that.
We've shown our faces in your videos before.
I know, but how many people put that together? You know?
What was that?
How many people actually watched that video specifically? How many videos have you showed your face on?
Well, the most popular is the one I was themed around The Odd Ones Out, which has like 4 million views.
Oh yeah, I was just watching that one.
In the Domino World videos, one of those had 800,000 and one of them had 700,000 views. So those we've shown our faces in before, just like at the end of the video showing all the builders.
I remember placing a comment in one of the videos. I think it was your video where you were announcing the winners. Thank you all for watching. Link is in the description to DaksDominos. It always is. It has been in this description of our videos for a long time. So if you haven't subscribed to them, go do that now. And Derek, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me on.
We'll see you next episode.